Hi everyone, I'm Michael Vickers. I am an artist in the city. I also help run, along with Oliver Pout here, Akin Collective, which is an arts organization that offers affordable studio space, along with a whole bunch of different programming initiatives, so workshops, most of which are free as far as programming goes, so things like this, gallery crawls, open studio events. Yeah, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much, everyone, for sitting up here and talking a bit more about public art. I'll let you each introduce yourself, if that's okay, and then we can kind of jump into it. I'm hoping it'll be just a very casual sort of conversation, but if you have things to pitch, it's okay to pitch them too.
Hi, thanks for coming. My name is Lara Benazadi, and I'm Senior Advisor of Integrated Art at Metrolinz. So I integrate public art into major infrastructure projects.
Hello, I'm Lara Tarlo, and I'm with city planning and urban design, and I help to administer the Percent for Public Art program, which I can elaborate on later.
My name is Ben Mills. I'm the Vice President of Public Art Management. We work on behalf of developers and government organizations implementing public art plans and public art installations tied to development projects.
And I'm Lilie Zendel. I'm the manager of StreetARToronto. I work in the building just behind us and work in the public realm section, which is part of transportation services, and we're the section that's focused on the pedestrian opposed to the driver.
Wonderful. My first question was simply, what are some of your favorite public artworks in the city? If anyone would like to jump in, yeah?
I have many favorites, but I'm just going to pick two. I particularly like the Eldon Garnet Bridge at Broadview and Queen. It's in my neighborhood. I notice it like weekends. It's just extremely well integrated with the infrastructure of that bridge. It's not look at me, but it has heritage value, historical, cultural value, and I think it's just a beautiful sculpture. It's one of my favorite, and a more recent one, I guess, is something that was commissioned by Concord ADAX in City Place, which is again another integrated piece of art, but it's extremely visible from the gardener and his pedestrians walking by. It's by Catherine Harvey. It's called Gardener Streams, and I think Ben actually can talk about it a little bit more, since his firm were involved in helping to commission the artwork through the development. But it's glass and it's integrated with the building.
So the political answer is all of my projects are our favorite projects. No. My favorite one, just to elaborate on what Lara was talking about, the Catherine Harvey piece is a photographic installation that is printed onto a translucent or transparent film that's integrated into the glazing of the building. It sort of houses in the amenity suite area where there's a pool, and then above and below are mechanical services, so it hides this sort of ugly building underwear. The face out of the garden very prominently featured. It's a nice sort of rock billboard to look at when you're driving into the city. It's one of my favorite installations. My favorite is probably the Richard Deacon at the unfortunately named World Trade Center down at Yonge and Queens Heath. It was installed in '91, I believe. I don't know who was involved with it. I think Marathon was the developer once upon a time, but I'm not sure. Michael might know.
Film and camera.
There you go. But it's one of my favorites. It's an early work of his. It's wonderful. It needs a little tender loving care right now, but I've always loved it since I was a little kid. Coming into the city in the snow, I always remember going down to see it when we were in town. And then another personal favorite is being biased, but is the James Turrell installation at the Adelaide Center, which isn't far away from here. First work of his permanently displayed in Canada, really, really calming, beautiful. One of the few lighting installations that's really held up and worked well continuously for 7 years. And great artist and perfect integration with the building fabric and the site.
a Winnipeg photographer artist by the name of Sarah Ann Johnson. It's 44 feet high by 144 feet wide, and it's located at the Weston Harbor Castle Convention Center right at the foot of Bay Street. And just because I worked there for many years down at Harborcraft, I always thought, what an eyesore having this convention center that looked like a huge bunker. So it took us around 2 years to convince the Harbor Castle to give us their wall, and it just went up in May, and we worked with Contact, and I'm very proud of it. We were able to get funding from Partners in Arts, so we put in a permanent frame, and the idea is that every 2 years we'll commission an artist to do a new work.
Will you work with Contact on that every 2 years?
So my favorite work is actually the Rainbow Tunnel. That's at DVP Awards, which if you've ever driven up the DVP, you'll see it's sort of older. And that was actually a public intervention by a local resident who decided to paint it. And what ended up happening over the years is that people would come and repaint it periodically. So the rainbow would change colors, it would be mismatched. 40 years ago, the city used to see this as a graffiti, and they would try to remove it. But it became part of the public imagining. Like, it is actually the subject of Country Rock by Peter Doig, and also Day In, Day Out by Tony Romano. And more recently, the city has actually embraced it, and they've repainted it in a full rainbow color, and it's become a local landmark.
Speaking about graffiti, that was something that I was hoping to touch on at some point. You may be the best person to speak to just sort of our city's relationship with graffiti, the division between what qualifies as vandalism compared to street art, whether our city is supportive of graffiti culture, or how that sort of fits into our whole discussion.
So the good news is that there was in 2011 an interdivisional group that got together to address the whole issue of graffiti, what's graffiti vandalism, graffiti art. They looked at best practices around the world. And I have to say, there aren't many legacies, but one legacy of our former mayor was that he really was against graffiti vandalism. So essentially, there is now a graffiti plan that was approved by council, and the way I best describe it is that the only difference between graffiti vandalism and graffiti art is permission. So we're saying that yes, artists have an opportunity and should have a voice on the street, but they also have to recognize that it is public space, public realm, and that people have to live with it. Same as ways you should have a say in what's on in your living room. That's really what we want public to feel. So we launched this program called StreetARToronto, or START as we call it, and it was an opportunity to work with organizations. But interestingly enough, the program used to be housed in social services, so it was really more for a youth at-risk program. And the problem was that we were left with some great pieces, some very mediocre pieces, and then all of the pieces really weren't being looked after. So with this new program START, it has to be artist-led. It's a public-private partnership, so we're saying to non-profit organizations, the city will give you a grant, but you have to come up with some of the costs. And most importantly, it has to be artist-led, and that you have to take responsibility for it for 5 years. You have to actually put it into your budget, something to look after it. And the idea that, that it really is perceived as a piece of art. And I have to say the program's been hugely successful. We put up around 100 works, and all different sizes, very different aesthetics, and the feedback we're getting is fantastic. So we're happy with what the city's doing.
Right on. Something you just mentioned there too is sort of maintenance or upkeep of spaces. How do you all sort of, or I guess I'm more curious, how does that generally work in a public art context? So will the developer, be responsible for making sure that the artwork is maintained, or if the lights go out, they're fixed? How does that sort of relationship work?
Well, I can start by speaking to that. At Metrolinz, the budget for public art that comes out of the public realm amount, we make sure to set aside a reserve for ongoing maintenance because it's considered pretty critical. You don't want to let works fall into disrepair. In terms of P3s or partnerships with developers, they're often responsible for a period of time, potentially decades, of the day-to-day maintenance.
The city's percent for public art program, the private developers, we usually ask for, in our policies, we ask for at least 10% to be put aside, the total budget to be put aside for maintenance, and it would go to the conduit board to ensure that they have some funds available if the artwork is damaged in any way. So that's part of our program, and it's guidelines that there's a portion of funds that are made available for ongoing maintenance. But it is an issue, and it's something that does continue to come up with condo owners, and they need to be provided a manual to know exactly what they need to do with the artwork. Often we'll get phone calls and they'll say certain things damaged or chipped, and they don't really know what to do with it. This is where the public art consultant along with the artist provide a manual to the condo board so that they have that in place for that maintenance.
So just to sort of elaborate on that a little bit further, the maintenance manual that we turn over is created in tandem with us, the developer, engineers, and the fabricator, and the artist as well. It'll include, it all depends on what form the artwork takes, but for something that, like the Catherine Harvey that's integrated into the glass, the maintenance for that is nothing. It's the windows, they clean the windows on a regular basis, so there's really no maintenance for that. Just if something is to break, God forbid, typically that's all covered by the builder's insurance. For other ones like sculptures, we try to sort of nip it in the bud early on by requiring or suggesting the artist consider materials that are robust in nature, things like bronze, stainless steel, aluminum. Our climate is a nightmare for public art, by and large, not because of just the winter, but it's our freeze-thaw cycle. It gets cold, it gets hot, it gets cold, it gets hot, and that creates just a lot of tremendous difficulties with the variety of public art installations. So we want to make sure that they're as robust and durable as possible. Salt spray, things like that are always a concern. So, if there is an opportunity to do something where it's away from the elements, we try to embrace that, because then more money is going into actually making the artwork rather than making the artwork extremely durable.
For our murals, we really have tried to make people realize that it is an ephemeral art form. So all our murals with our organizations, we say it's 5 years and then to be looked at after 5 years. So interestingly enough, we're just about to go into our 5th year of the program. And of course, wrestling with the idea of what if we think a piece should be now taken down, and yet the community loves it and doesn't want it taken away. So it's something we're just starting to address. But yeah.
I was just going to ask, I know that there have been some developments with sprays that can be applied over top of murals. Is that something that START works with or is beginning to work with?
Yeah, we didn't up until now just because it's really expensive.
Yeah.
But it's something particularly for the pieces that we have, we have great investment in. We also have a new program that we launched last year called Startup, which is focusing on orphan spaces like underpasses. And we realize that these are expensive projects and we probably should do something to preserve them. But I don't want to take it to the point where I think what's so lovely about street art is the fact that it's ephemeral and that it changes. So we have to find a balance by what do we protect and what do we feel we just wrapped 50 of them that are there. It's funny because Michael Awad is somebody who I really wanted to do a wrap before, but we got Gary Tax Alley. The first time we just went to a few artists, we went to a photographer and a graphic designer. I think we'll probably do a new wrap design in a year or two, and we'll probably put it out to competition. To be honest, the wraps seem to they're easier to clean and they seem to get less abuse, but the public certainly seems to be more entranced with the hand-painted ones. That program, if anything, is only going to get bigger. Thanks for asking.
I'd be curious to hear what you all think of the big Toronto sign that we have in our square here. It's sort of funny, even just being here today, and obviously we all know how much people loved it and they've asked for it to stay. But I was sort of looking at it thinking it's sort of funny how I haven't seen our city embrace a piece of public art as much as just a simple word. So I guess I'm curious if you think that we can, as a city, do a better job of creating works that are a bit more approachable or a bit easier to engage with. I mean, part of why I think people like this is because it's nice to take a selfie with. But like, is that something that we should be considering? Like, you know?
I mean, it is. This. Okay, first off, that's a sign.
Yes.
It's nice, but it's a sign. It wasn't designed by an artist, so I don't consider it public art, but that's just me being a snob. It's nice. It's a great branding for the city, and it's great for selfies. But we do hear a lot of feedback from clients, the city, the general public, residents, building owners, and whatnot about doing things that are more approachable. We try to make sure we have a balance between doing something that the general public will maybe not necessarily understand, but appreciate, but at the same time still commissioning actual artwork. So it's a fine balance between the two. We're not doing museum pieces. Public art isn't done in contemplative spaces necessarily, unless you're doing a memorial or something in the park. Typically these are sort of dynamic areas that people are moving around a lot in. So you want something that still has some pop, for lack of a better word, but still isn't just a one-liner or something that's pitchy.
I think the point is that it is a sign and it's a great marketing tool. But there wasn't really an artist intervention going back to maintenance a year ago. I mean, there was no consideration of any of that. In terms of the practical, there's the practical side, but then there's the fact that there's a lack of art. There's not an artist who designed that work. And also, I mean, I'm a little bit concerned about things clumping up into Vickers Square. It's a heritage site, so there has to be, I think there's real consideration. The fact that it's a heritage plaza and the buildings and so on, I think if we were to commission artwork on Vickers, like, and then it's gone, you know. So then,
We do run into issues though with lighting, which is, I mean, it's not just because of environmental concerns, but a lot of building restrictions in terms of night sky guidelines, bird-friendly guidelines, a lot of things of that nature. That's why we get away from big head. So it's tricky because you're working with regulations. You also have to work with lights that are going to be durable and last a long time, and they're very costly. Especially when you're getting ones that are completely waterproof, relampable. It's tricky. So no, I know. But I just don't think people realize the cost that's associated with it. Who cares that cost to operate? If you're doing it with a condo building, I mean, these are just residents that are running. When you're doing it with office towers, you have a little bit more flexibility because the building owner typically is a large corporation or a large development company. They have a vested interest in maintaining the work and making sure it's as beautiful as possible. Whereas with condo boards, and this is just from experience, is they typically want to figure out ways of reducing their operating budgets. And if they don't have to, if they can turn the lights off or if they can turn the pump off on a fountain, they will. The first moment they get a chance. So we can't. It's hard to enforce those sorts of things. Also, getting power to those sorts of sites can be problematic at times, but it's something that we always take into consideration. I mean, one of our longest standing client, Concord 8X, had an ongoing program, rooftop lighting, that's been designed by an Ottawa-based artist named Andrew Holder. We've done, I think, 22 buildings so far downtown. We're starting to see other competitors trying to sort of imitate that. But you've seen a lot of other cities in Singapore, Shanghai, Hong Kong, lots of cities in Germany, because these are places that get a lot of darkness, so it's nice to have a nighttime presence. But the reality of the matter is that until lights get to a point where it's strong and going to last and not going to be a burden on whoever is owning it, we're still trying to kind of figure that out.
Well, going back to your first question, one of my favorite pieces is also which Zendel now on Bridge, Airport Bridge, which I at one point was involved in, and it's certainly, there's an example of we finally did it, lighting on a bridge at night.
Simply because I don't know as much about the public art sort of world, but which other cities are known for their public art? Are there certain cities that, my sister was just in Chicago and she obviously sent me tons of pictures of her, with the beam, and which I guess maybe it's just personal preference, but can any of you speak to cities that are kind of got a reputation for doing public art well? Is Toronto one of them? Are we within Canada, a leader, or not so much?
I think we're doing quite well. I mean, the Centre's Public Art Program, the development of this program has been around since 1985. And we have about 100, I can say this percent, we have about 170 installations in the city of artworks, and we're still waiting on another 60 installations to come. So I think, that's significant.
a development project has to go towards public art?
It doesn't have to, as 1% of the gross construction cost of the building. We negotiate it through development applications when they come in. If they're looking for more height and density, then it's our sort of the official plan, and Planning Act gives us the leverage to negotiate certain community benefits, and public art is one of them. It's not always high up on the list of priorities, but as you can see, we are getting more successful.
Am I right? Calgary, it's 3%? Is that? I don't know. I was talking about this the other day, and somebody said, "Oh, it's 3% in Calgary," which obviously, as an artist who does sculpture, I was like, "Oh my God!"
So
I'm moving to Calgary.
So the first city in North America to implement this sort of program is Philadelphia in 1968 or 62. I think it's 68. But there's over 200 municipalities across North America that have similar sorts of programs. Toronto, as Laura said, 1% of the gross construction cost. Vancouver used to be the same, but they changed it recently, so now it's on a per square foot basis. But the important thing to note too is that it's not on all buildings, it's all buildings over a certain size, so it's large buildings, high rises, over 20,000 square meters of leasable space. I think Toronto does the best public art in the world. I think our collection of works that we've done holds up to New York, Chicago, anywhere else. Vancouver does a tremendous job of it. Philadelphia does a tremendous job of it. Chicago, as you said. But I think the way that we've done it here in Vancouver is that it's not all on the public. It's not all public funds that are running it. So this isn't taxpayer dollars. These are paid for by developers. But in tandem with the cities, they're making sure that they're doing something that still enhances the public realm, but isn't going to be subject to a big levy or some sort of tax. It's a trade-off, but then to get the big building, they have to do something that nice folks.
Who chooses the art?
Juries. So we work with the public art jury. We have to have, we have to have 2 representatives of the board on the jury. One has to be an artist, and one has to have an understanding or expertise in arts. But they can't work for commercial galleries. So people that work at museums and things like that are qualified. But you can't have somebody that has a vested interest in one of the artists that's being shown. But you get people that work at various arts organizations, private consultants, people like that. So it's
Are they voted on? Or?
Yeah.
Do they have a limit of how long they work there?
What do you mean?
Like, are you elected for 1 year to choose art?
No. So it's project by project. So when we get a public art plan approved, or when we review it with the city, we have to show a number of the illustrating plan. We have a plan that's written that explains the site locations, artist lists, but also jury candidates, and it's vetted by the city through urban design, but also through the Toronto Public Art Commission to make sure that we're considering jury candidates that are appropriate for these projects. We get a lot of pushback on who we consider, but they have to be board residents.
They have to be what resident?
Ward. So in the ward. So in the board.
They have to live in the area.
Yeah.
The artist that you choose has to live in.
No. The jury candidates. The jury candidates have to be from or live in the ward in which the building or the public art is being commissioned.
And that's specific for the City of Toronto.
Yeah,
Present
yeah.
for public art program. What you'll see in other public art programs is very similar in that you want to have an independent jury that's involved in the selection and making recommendations. But the exact makeup and how long they sit and what backgrounds they come from, that can vary depending on what agency or what municipality you're talking about.
So there's one artist. How many people are on the jury?
It really depends on the jury and what project it is, but the idea is that there's representation from people who have expertise, who can make up an independent jury, who don't have any vested interest or conflict of interest, and that will change project to project. And they typically receive technical advice from people who are affiliated with the project or with the agency that's commissioning.
In terms of our program, we're quite transparent in how we approve a project. So we look at the process, but we don't get to select the artists. So it's really a matter of looking and making sure that there's no conflicts. There's not someone just picking up artists that they like. I mean, they can like them and they can be part of a pool in a competition. or they could be invited to be part of the competition, but not hand-selected for a particular project. So there is a jury that would select the artist for that project. It's not, it's very transparent.
Sorry to interrupt, are any of your four organizations involved in the design of like ROM, like redesign of buildings, like with architects and things like that? Like who decided on the new design of the ROM and such? Like OCA maybe was their school or something like that.
I can't say that we would be, well, the urban designers, I'm in city planning, so our programs within city planning, so the architects would have to be urban designers would be part of that review process and looking at the built form, the structure of the building, the facade and so on. So that would be part of the development review when it comes in for the application. And then if there is public art integrated in that, then that would be part of our the percent public art program through the guidelines and the policies that we have in place to review and make sure that the process is being followed.
So that would be cool, you know, a lot more interesting kind of public buildings and designs.
The only time that we ever get involved with that, and it's with very few of our clients, but usually ones that we've worked with for a longer time, is looking at opportunities. Usually the architect will design a building, or they go through a series of design revisions when they're, years before the building starts. So, and it really only happens with one of our clients, but they'll sit down and say, do you see any opportunities where you can integrate art into this and maybe influence some of the building design? But that's really few and far between. I mean, it's something that'd be nice, but they've got so many other things to deal with in the building design.
Right. But like, how does a big sculpture like one of the ones I like in the city is 36 Toronto Street. It's a massive atrium, and the elevator goes up part way into the office building, and then you've got like a descending staircase sculpture coming down. So whoever owns that building obviously is a big art appreciator. Maybe it's Cadillac Fairview or some other big organization.
I'm not familiar. I know Toronto Street, but I'm not familiar with that building.
Yeah, it's really cool sculpture.
Very broadly, what advice would you give to artists that are interested in getting involved with public art? So, I mean, perhaps some of the START projects are a great way to dip your foot in, but I know for a lot of people it can be a bit intimidating, and obviously there are lots of calls for submissions out there, but it's it's a pretty detailed application. What sort of advice do you have? I'm sure you get it all the time from people saying, "Oh, I would have this great idea to do, whatever." What sort of concrete steps or recommendations or resources would you maybe point people to?
I think we all put out calls, so first of all, to stay aware of what the calls are. Certainly, with outside the box, I really wanted these boxes to be a reflection of the diversity of the city, and so we really tried to make the application as simple as possible so that if English isn't your first language, it's not going to prevent you from doing the application. I suspect some of the calls you're doing, it's much more specific.
Well, it depends. I mean, when we do open calls, I don't like asking artists to produce something that they're not getting compensated for. Their ideas are their currency. So when we do calls for credentials, typically these are things that they should basically already have. So CV, images of precedent images of past works that they've worked on. Maybe listing a few references. When we're doing early stage calls like that, we don't want them to deliver anything at that point, because we want to review this sort of red basket of people that are considering for it, and then make a selection of ones that would be paid to come back with concepts. So they're not having to put hours and hours and hours of work into something that they're doing for nothing. Good ways of getting in touch with these things are things like Eflux, Gimbo, and Art Public. Art Public's a European-based sort of news distribution thing for these sort of open calls and calls for artists. Being flexible with your practice, I think, is also helpful too. Being willing to let some somebody else make your work is very hard for some artists. There's a lot of artists that I tried to talk to that doing public art. They told me flat out they have no interest in doing it because they're used to their studio-based practice and they don't want to let that go. And that's totally fine. It's their choice. But if you do, and if you are interested, you have to be willing to work with a fabricator, being willing to work within the constraints of building codes and safety guidelines and all of this stuff. Because there's so many things that go at play with this where you have to make sure everything's done so that it's not going to topple over.
We do also encourage some mentoring program as well. So if there's the budgets, usually the budgets are quite high on the public art program, so it might not be a great opportunity for someone who's trying to start and get their feet wet on it. But if it's if they are interested, then I think that certainly contacting public art consultants, contacting interested artists that have experience in the city, that have done work in the city, and maybe having some kind of mentorship program with them so that they could get the experience in doing permanent artworks. It's really, I think, part of the challenge is you do need to have some experience to do artworks that have these sort of the larger scale budgets that are more durable and that withstand the conditions that we have. For large-scale public artworks that are embedded into infrastructure projects, rather than giving advice to artists, I might give advice to myself or others who create public art, in that we should be thinking about the barriers that exist and ways to develop process reforms to foster talent. Like, I think a lot about the barrier to entry for an artist who is working in a medium that maybe makes a lot of sense for a particular public site, but because they haven't done a public art commission before, they're automatically excluded as part of the procurement process. So figuring out ways that we can adjust the process to kind of bring them on, whether that's involving mentorship or finding teams to work with them to assist them in providing the requisite architectural drawings, 3D renderings, technical specifications that wouldn't necessarily be apparent or something that somebody's learned.
It's a very collaborative process, which works for some people and doesn't for others. You have to be willing to work with a team to do these. We try to never have a restriction that you have to have done a public art commission in order to qualify for a project. We just need you actually are an artist. You either exhibit in a gallery or in an artist space of some sort. So, having done a public commission, we try not to use that as a prerequisite because I think that's kind of absurd because it limits the pool of artists and they create barriers for entry. But we've also, with a lot of our larger projects, tried to do these mentorship programs where they're not mentored they're not job shadowing the artist that's got the commission, they really are job shadowing us. They'll attend a number of project meetings, just sort of being there, taking notes, doing some site visits with us, just to sort of understand fabrication shop visits, things like that, just to understand how these things are done so that they have those, and then at the end of the day, they're paid a fee to come up with a small piece for them. So Course Key, we did main art installations were done by a UK-based artist collective in Troika, but then Dave Trotrimus, who's a Toronto-based artist, created a small piece for that project as well. And since then, and it's getting installed at some point in the fall, he's doing a larger installation for one of our condominium projects, where he's designed a series of artist benches and screens. They're going to be integrated into his courtyard and along the linear park along the garden. So, it's sort of the next step for him. And then we've done a number of these, but usually they're in tandem with the architects, where they're using their resources and their expertise to try to realize something that can be incorporated into the project.
I think that's actually all the time we have. We can open up the floor to questions for about 5 or 10 minutes. If anyone has any?
I have a question. Sorry, we got here late, but are you from the Street Art project? Yeah. Is anybody else on the panel from the Street Art project? Okay, so I specifically have a question for you. I'm wondering if the StreetARToronto project, because I know it's new, I'm wondering if it was started because we felt like there was a lack of street art already happening in Toronto, or if they wanted to sort of like mold it into a more formalized way
city, but then they get to an underpass, and particularly women. I'm one of them. I mean, I just like run. So I have said, I don't think we can fix that only by putting murals up. That's the first step, and I certainly would say, we need to have funding to change the lighting. And if you think developers are bad, work with hydro. But I honestly think that I'm hoping that the mural program will only be a catalyst for other improvements in the public realm.
And so have you been able to show that the stats have changed?
It's funny.
Safer? Is there a way to...
That's what I've just been working on this week. We're going to work with some students at U of T. I sort of didn't want to do it yet because I thought you have to have a certain amount of work before you can actually do the study. And so we're going to do a study. But it's difficult to... we certainly know our graffiti vandalism costs have gone down, but we're certainly wrestling with what are the measurements to use for it, how do you benchmark it. Certainly anecdotally, in terms of the media coverage the programs we've been getting and the response we get, I think people really like it. If any of you, another wonderful project we did is an underpass park.
Yeah, I saw that.
That one, and there it was this huge space under, I never quite know, is it the Gardner or, anyway, it's out South Queen in the East End, and we had something like 18 street artists involved, live pillars, and, I know for a photo shoot, we get a lot of film companies saying, we want to shoot something there, and we have to give credit to the artists, so I certainly know how popular it's become.
And I guess my question stems from, I think it's really interesting because I'm from Moncton, New Brunswick, and run a mural festival there. And that's a very new thing for us to put public art in a place where there is nothing. There's no public art at all.
What's it called?
In Moncton, New Brunswick.
What's the festival called?
Inspire. Yeah. So what I was thinking was, a lot of our inspiration comes from Montreal. And when you were asking, what are the cities in the world that sort of have no pride in their success in public art, Montreal first comes to mind for me. But my experience the past 2 days being in Toronto, there's been art everywhere. I think we had a really good weekend, but just by chance. But it's been really awesome. So thank you for going to work in public art. But in Montreal, there's a bunch of organizations like Lilie, Mural Festival, which put up 15 new murals this year, and Move as well. It runs there. And so the city doesn't actually have a street art Montreal.
No, they don't.
They don't need to. So the question originally stems from that. It's like, were you filling a gap because that doesn't exist? Are there any organizations in Toronto that actually grassroots started to do it themselves and get grants from the city to
Yeah,
art in other places?
there are a lot of organizations that do it, and as I said, to get city funding before this was launched, it was working with social services. So the quality of the art just wasn't good. So when we took it over, we really said it has to be about the art. Honestly, when we use the same jury system, but what we're really looking at is, first of all, location. Does it have high pedestrian traffic? And is the quality of work really good? And just to go back, we also assessed, it used to be about numbers, how many youth would be involved. Now we're saying we don't really care about the numbers, but we want you to have some mentorship, but it has to be a really robust type of mentorship so that, the student or the artist is really gaining something from the end of the project. And then I very quickly learned that scale, one of the reasons I did the photographic mural, and we're also very proud we've done the tallest mural on a city housing apartment building. Where is that? 200 Wellesley Street.
Okay.
So you should really check it out. So I have always tried every year with a project. I certainly encourage the organizations we work with to think big. We always want at least a couple of them to be quite large scale.
Thank you.
Great.
Great.
So, was there actually an artist that did the work that actually did that?
Yes, the youth. So at the bottom of the building is quite intricate, and the youth in the building not only were involved in helping the design, but painting it, and even the up that high. The sort of, I'd say, last 15 floors, we had to get a company to actually do the design because we didn't have a license to go up that high. But yeah, that's the other thing with our programs, and it's been, I think, particularly hard for street artists. Street artists, they just want to do their thing. And what we've really said to them is, look, you don't get paid. They often didn't. You are going to have to get permission, and you have to do at least 2 community consultations. So that you're not just putting out something you want. You really have to hear what your community wants, show them what your skills are. And I have to say that for me also has been really surprising because a few of them were like, we're just not, they're marginal artists and they want to put us, but they've actually discovered that by having that conversation with the community that has improved their work. Yes, that's the other thing that we've said to them is that we want to sort of take it out, move it into a serious art form. So and just for the boxes, it's we pay $500 per box for the art.
What's the community consultation? What's the process?
It's different in each community, so it depends, but that they have to, usually they'll work through the counselor, and the counselor will announce that one night they show their drawings, and people get to the back, we like that, part of it we don't like that, we don't like the colors, so they... That sounds good.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for donating your time, and thank you everyone for coming and listening. This series runs all weekend. We'll be talking about a whole bunch of different topics. Thank you very much.
Hi Eric, how are you? Oliver. Michael. Yes, we were. Okay. Yeah. We said today, but if you go to the we're very yeah. We're gonna go get free beer? Yeah. Michael, how are you? Looking well? And I mean, yeah, you see a fair number of the calls going through and they are not. The only time I've actually gone through the process is when I did a partner as a team. It's actually maybe a great way to do the first one. I still see them all the time and I'm like, oh, I need to do that, but it's a lot of work and deadlines catch up. We applied through START and we were shortlisted for one of the train barrier walls. They're doing through we had done that before. And yeah, so I mean, we went through the process and did the stuff we did. We worked on but yeah, it was neat to see how it works. Yeah. But I was going to say my interesting because my partner's 3D renderings and stuff like that, and so she was able to create those settings that great job. So yeah, I mean, or just sort of collaborating with a friend and do that. Things.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Oh, great. What's the name?
Yeah, because in a market, if you're successful, yeah, pretty significant. Like, it's not a, it would be still really beneficial to split it into three pieces. Yeah, exactly. And you know, there's a lot of time involved in that and sourcing and that kind of stuff.
I used to work with film sets all the time, so I love that kind of, team spirit and like, what can you do overnight to
Brainstorm together and everyone has different strengths. We try to post a lot of those called presentations on our blog when we see them. And do you follow the Kimbo? Yeah, like that. Seems to be the best price. Yeah, well, nice to see you in real life. Thanks for being here. This morning was on the internet and social media, so it's sort of funny that we're talking about this stuff. Our world is broader. It's funny we have to show somebody
Okay. Half hour this thing. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Take care. Have a great day. It was really fun.
Great.
Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you.
Very informative. I think everyone got a lot of that. Yeah, there you go. Nice.
We'll see you around.
Yeah, thanks again.
I hope the weather stays.
Yeah, hopefully it does.
Yeah. Well, we plaque on the bridge now, which is, I have to, it's quite amazing.
I love it. I absolutely love it.
Just wanted to say thank you so much. Yeah, really nice to have you part of this.
I hope that's okay.
Oh no, you were phenomenal. Excellent. No, it's so good to have friends. Yeah, that was it.
Well, there's so much like distrust too, you know? Yeah. Totally. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree, because it is so daunting to think, like, even if someone is working with large scale sculpture, still to go through the process and whatnot. Yeah. And I think, I'm not sure if it was, someone made a point about having mentorships in place.
We encourage that.
Yeah, because I mean, we were just speaking with an artist, Megan, just now, but someone, their artwork may be perfectly scalable size-wise, but they have no clue how to do 3D renderings and prepare that sort of information for public consultation and whatnot. So right away they're like, "Oh, shit, I can do this." So, and obviously there's that, but how do artists normally start working with them? Is that just through personal relationships?
These kind of forums,
Yeah.
I think it's good to be out there.
Yeah. Big fun.
Big things.
Yeah.
And they need to research we can actually have this
Yeah, thanks again.
Thank you. Really appreciate it.
Okay, well, have a good evening.
Me too.
Okay, see you. I think for the other one, we'll get people to like do a mic check and we'll tell them beforehand, like, you need to speak directly into the microphone. Like for Ben and I didn't want to interrupt the conversation, but I was like, we can't turn it up anymore.
No, totally.
Back. Like,
Oh, good. It all worked out.
yeah. Okay, so that's what. So now we kind of need someone to. Oh, we've got some good submissions.
This weekend, a bunch of friends with this weekend this summer.
backwards and he was crawling. I wish I had a video. I like our schedule. Is there anything that we need to do to these cables in case of rain? We pop them up on the riser or something?
Yeah, I'll bring a plastic bag, I'll wrap them in, and then just leave them under the riser.
Alright, let's leave all this stuff up.
Yeah.
So we'll start with this one. Feel like
just keep going. Yes. good thing or bad thing? Good for just helping Michelle. This one needs to go all the best. Not have enough sides now. That makes at least two of us. I said at least. Alright, well, I'm gonna go to the info booth. So all we have to do is put up some barricades, right? What? Just have to put some of those barricades across. Okay.
Is it recorder yours or is it ours?
Oh, that was kind of mine. I can take that. Thank you.